Hi everybody, and welcome to Your Personal Budget, presented by me, Tamsin Jefferson Harvey of Seed Accounting Solutions. So the first things first, a little bit about me. I founded Seed Accounting Solutions back in 2015. I have a small team. We specialize in working with micro and small businesses, and really our focus is on empowering, educating and supporting our clients to enable them to achieve the success that they desire. Everybody's version of success is very different. You may wish to watch one of our earlier webinars called Redefining Success to help you understand what success means to you and how you can help achieve that. So I'm just going to kick off with a thought of the day, which is by Alexa von Tobel. So it is critical that kids start to learn the value of money, short-term and long-term savings and budgeting at an early age. I don't know about you, but most of my financial education was sought after by myself in my early 20s, pretty much when I went to university and I had to manage my money for the first time properly as an independent adult, and suddenly realizing that I would need to budget if I wanted to be able to afford to go out at the weekend. So I'm a real avid sharer of financial education, especially to children. I do it with my own children. I've bought them several books and I encourage them to understand the value of money and saving and budgeting and so on. But it's never too late to start. So hopefully you're here to understand a little bit about how you can improve your personal budget, but actually also understand the reason why it's actually a benefit for you. So today we're going to go through 7 important things. So first of all, understanding what a personal budget is, the obvious and unexpected benefits, the components of personal budgeting, how to complete your personal budget, creating an accountability framework, any next steps, and any support that's available. So let's kick off. What is a personal budget? This here is the definition of a personal budget. It's a very useful definition because it makes 3 important distinctions. Firstly, this is a personal budget. Its purpose and form is very different to the budget that you create for your business. Secondly, your personal budget is not just something you create and then tuck in a little bottom drawer, never to be seen again. It's an actionable plan that, if followed, will help you achieve your financial and lifestyle goals in your business as well. So bear that in mind. And lastly, your personal budget is forward-facing for a 12-month period. Could be longer, could be a little bit shorter, but obviously generally about 12 months, and is broken down into months. It allocates your future personal income, including salaries, drawings, and dividends from the business, towards personal expenses, savings and investments, and the reduction of personal debt. But put really simply, a personal budget is just a plan that lays out how you're going to spend and how you're going to save your money. And I think you'll probably believe, and this is probably why you're watching this now, is that a personal budget at the moment is a really key item to have in your sort of how I'm going to get through a recession or a hard time or whatever toolkit, to make sure that you see through and you get to the other end without getting into any further debt. There are many, many benefits of having a personal budget. Some of these are obvious and are financially focused. Others are focused on reducing stress and improving communication with your significant others. The value in having more control over your financial future cannot be underestimated. Focusing on your budget brings your focus to something you can have real control over. As I said at the beginning of this session, personal budgeting helps you focus on your money goals and creates a better awareness of where your money is going. A common comment we get from clients when they look at their annual accounts and see their personal drawings figure is, we can't possibly have spent that much money this year. If you've ever had this thought, don't worry, you're obviously a very good company. This is a sure sign, however, that by spending just 60 minutes each month drilling down into your personal spending, you'll have greater awareness of where your money is actually going. Having money goals and an awareness of how much money you are spending and on what creates better money habits, which in turn helps you manage your debt levels. This enables you to achieve your wealth goals. Now, again, these are all going to be very different. You know, some people want, you know, £1 million house and the fancy car and send their kids to private school and all of those things. Yours might be a mix of things. Other people might just want to have enough money to go on holiday, and they may change over time as well. So just be aware that everyone's wealth goals are going to be different. A personal budget also acts as an early warning system because you can anticipate upcoming costs, and you can go into that forewarned. Having a budget is also really important in regards to communication with your partner, your life partner, that is, not business partner as well to an extent. According to marriage guidance experts, financial conflict is the top 3 most common argument topics, along with parenting and sex. So sort your personal budget out, and that's at least one of 3 things that's fixed. At the end of the day, if you have a budget and you use it as one of your wealth creation tools, you will end up with more money and arguably less conflict and stress in your life. So if having a personal budget is such a smart thing to do, then why aren't we all doing it? And here's why. Here are the top 7 reasons why so many of us don't have a personal budget. Setting up your annual personal budget and reviewing your progress each month is not a time-consuming process. There are some simple things you can do to make things easier on yourself. Firstly, make sure all of your personal spending comes from one bank account or credit card, and try not to pay personal expenses out of business bank accounts. Big no-no. That way, you'll only have one spending source that you'll have to track. Obviously, in some households, you might have a joint account and individual accounts as well. So just bear in mind that is going to make budgeting a little bit more complicated, and you also need to make sure that you have all of that information to hand. It's no good just going from the joint bank account. Secondly, get hold of a simple budget template to take the work out of setting one up. There are also a myriad of apps out there, and some of them work, some of them don't for different people. I personally use something called YNAB, which stands for you'll never need a budget. You need a budget. So I use that app. I've used it for 6 years now. And despite the fact that I have to manually input every single transaction, I find it the most intuitive way, and it's the one that works best for me. There are lots of other apps out there, or you can use our personal budget template, which you can get at the end of this webinar, or feel free to contact us and we can send you a copy. As an alternative to the spreadsheet, as I've mentioned, you can go for the budgeting app. Oh, another one, Good Budget is another one, I think. That works in a concept of having wallets that you basically put money into for certain spending. You could even go one step further and join a specialist personal budgeting coaching program, although this step isn't for everyone. We don't currently offer a full program. We can, however, review your personal budget for you, and we can also offer a one-off coaching session. Many people don't like the limits that they feel a budget will place on them. So rather than thinking of it as a budget, which is restricting, think of it as a spending plan, which is a little bit more proactive, it's forward thinking, and it just allows you to potentially move things here or there. If you decide you want to go out for dinner and you're going to spend 100 quid one night on your own, or for you and your partner or whatever, I don't know how much you eat and drink. Let's say you go out and you spend £100, but actually you only had £70 in your budget. Well, okay, where's that other 30 quid going to come from? Can it come out of your grocery budget? Can it come out of your clothing budget? Can it come out of your hair and beauty budget? If you have a plan and you've allocated those pounds to those pots, then you're going to know what you've got available. And it's much more, well, rather than it being confining, it should be liberating. It should enable you to spend your money how you wish without any guilt, because you know that you've allocated it and you've got enough money to pay all the bills and all the other things. You don't have to worry about the fear that you're going to run out of money before the end of the month. If the problem is simply that you don't know where to start, then a simple budgeting tool and some online training is probably the solution. Just a basic spreadsheet similar to the one that we've set up, and I will show you a very brief overview of that shortly. That can probably be a good start. The Money Advice Service also has, actually, I think it's changed its name. Something funny now. Money Advice Service, anyway, if you Google it, it'll probably take you to the new page. They've got a really good household budget planner. You put in your income, you say what all of your bills and your expenses are, also all of your lifestyle expenses as well, and then it tells you whether you've got money left over or not at the end. And you can obviously choose to go and put more money in certain things. You might want to invest your money somewhere, or if you've overspent, you might need to go back and review some of your spending categories and see if you can reduce it. there's a wealth of information out there. There are apps that you can pay money for. There are free templates. There are free apps. Just go out and find it and make a start. There is no doubt that money can be a cause of conflict in a household. This simple fact prevents many couples from even talking about it. But conflict around money doesn't resolve itself. A personal budget is one simple step that you can take towards a healthier relationship with money. Budgeting can also be quite scary at first. You may not want to find out that the cost of your coffee habit is significantly higher than you thought it was. However, sticking your head in the sand isn't the answer either. Knowledge is power, and it's healthier to deal with the truth and move on positively. Pride is also an issue for some of us, but don't let your financial future be harmed because of your preconceived notion about who needs a spending plan. Everybody does. I totally understand also how easy it is to let budgeting slide. Watching a movie sounds way more fun than doing a budget, unless you're like me. I love updating my budget. Pretty much do it every day. Set a monthly calendar reminder to spend an hour each month reviewing your budget and your actual spending. Do it with a glass of wine if you have to. Understanding the benefits and building the habit are the keys to a successful personal budget. So now we're going to move on to the components of personal budgeting. So the first step is to set up your 12-month personal budget with income and expenses broken down on a monthly basis. As I said, this can be done in an Excel spreadsheet or by using one of the apps. So first, you're going to enter your monthly income, then you enter your expenses line by line within the categories so that you can see your monthly spend for each of those categories. Seeing how much of your income needs to be allocated towards food, for example, can be very empowering. I've had times in the past, also in recent times, where my food budget has dropped dramatically because I have had to expense my money elsewhere. I have had to pay for other things. But knowing that that's what the plan is, I then do a menu plan. I make sure I only buy exactly what I need and I don't have a fridge and freezer full of stuff that's just going to be thrown away at the end. So a food budget is really helpful. It's likely that you'll have a good understanding of your monthly income from drawings from your business, wages, rental income, whatever. But you might not actually fully understand the extent of what you're actually spending each month. So to get a better idea of how you're spending and what you're spending it on, it's a good idea to start by analysing your personal bank accounts and credit cards. Be prepared for a shock in some categories. If you would prefer to budget on a forward-facing basis, be sure to include the big ticket items such as insurances, school or university fees, your MOT, and potentially any maintenance on the car that's required. Trying to think what else I have that are the big annual ones. Obviously nowadays as well, if you've got any TV subscriptions that you pay on an annual basis, not necessarily monthly ones, be prepared for that. When budgeting your debt repayments, this is your opportunity to plan for increases or decreases if necessary, according to cash surpluses and your wealth creation plan. The key thing really is to make sure that you do not live beyond your means. If you're earning £3,000 take home a month of income, don't go and spend £3,500 because that extra £500 is going to go onto a credit card or some form of debt, and it's just going to build over time. Your personal budget goals may be to accumulate sufficient cash surplus to invest further in your business or invest your money elsewhere in some financial investments, stock, shares, property, whatever. This is your personal budget, however, and it needs to reflect your overarching family goals. So you must make sure that you factor in those additional goals in your business. For me personally, I want to pay off my credit card debt. For me, that's my key. That's my focus at the moment. Once I've got rid of that, then I can consider investing my money in my business or elsewhere. I've currently got Plum. Plum's a brilliant app as well. If you've got enough money, Plum is a really handy little tool that just siphons money off into out of your bank account each week. You can set up different rules. You can set it to invest. You can set it to put it into a savings pot. I've got an overdraft, a very historical overdraft that's from an old account that I'm trying to pay off. I basically put aside money, and then once I get to £100, I put it in there and I reduce the overdraft. Should only take me a few months, hopefully. Plum's a really good app, but you can allocate your savings. So each week, my the money that's taken out of my current account is put into Plum, and it's split into 2 savings pots and an investment pot. Simple and easy. Now, I'm not going to go through the spreadsheet in full, our personal budget template, but this is what it would look like. And as you can see from the very top thing, it's not particularly detailed, but at the top, we've got a summary of your income and your expenses. It's got a lovely little donut chart, so you can see how that's broken out, what your biggest expenses are, what your smaller ones, and then obviously in that final column on the third column, and your cash surplus, it shows that you've got a surplus each year, which is obviously what you can then use to pay for a holiday. If you haven't factored that in, another holiday, maybe if you've already factored in some holidays, or potentially you want to invest it, you can do whatever you like with your surplus. So it's very straightforward. You'll put in the year-end date first. So this can be set up anytime. This does not need to be a calendar year event. You can set it up whenever you like, and you can do it for the next year. You enter your income. You enter your, sorry. Oh dear. Not a good start. What's happened there? Sorry. My mouse scrolled. So then you've got your planned expenses. There are already some categories in our template. General ones are going to be sort of household expenses, food, clothing, shoes, that kind of thing. Your kids, depends on how you like to do it. We've kind of got kids' necessities, and I say I have kids' necessities and then their activities as well, so that I can just figure out how much we're spending on their activities and how much we're spending on other stuff like birthday parties that they go to and buy presents and, I don't know, bits and bobs. You might also want to factor in medical costs if you have any. For example, for me, I see a chiropractor, I've got contact lenses, all those kinds of things. They all go in my little medical category. Any insurances, transport, lifestyle, debt repayments. Those are the kind of common categories that you're going to want. They're there under the annual expenses one. You can also add in whichever ones you want to. I personally break out in my household category. As I said, I use an app. So I've got rent, council tax, utility. Well, I've got gas and electric, water, insurance, and I think that's it. And then I've got separate groceries category. For me, some people like to separate out their groceries to food, toiletries, alcohol. I just stick it all in one. I can't really be bothered with the granularity of it. Obviously, if I choose to spend £20 of my £50 grocery budget on alcohol, then that's my that's my problem to deal with. But I just stick it all in one, probably because I don't actually want to see what my alcohol budget is. So that's what you're going to be putting in. You can edit it however you like. You can choose the different categories. You might have car repayments. You might have, I don't know, furniture if you've bought that on finance. Just bear in mind there's all those different categories. You've got your MOT, your car tax, car insurance, all those kinds of things. As you go through the year, you'll probably decide that you either want to separate out some of the categories, bring them back together. You'll have forgotten some expenses as well. It needs to be simple. So keep things together where they can and only spread them out if you absolutely have to and you specifically want to monitor, for example, your TV subscriptions. I've got my own Disney Plus category because it's an annual payment and I need to make sure that I have the money every June to pay for that. There's little point in preparing a personal budget if you don't monitor your progress. Preparing a budget will be a valuable experience as you'll learn where your money actually goes. However, this is really only the first step. The enduring value comes from seeing your spending habits improve and having open and comfortable discussions about where money goes and how you're achieving your personal financial goals. It's key to track your spending on a monthly basis. For some couples, discussions about spending and budgeting is normal. For others, particularly where money behaviors differ, conversations about money are more tense. In this case, some people may consider engaging an external facilitator to sit down with you to work out your budget and be a non-judgmental sounding board. This can also provide independent accountability. As I mentioned, we don't currently provide this service, but there are people out there who can do that. You may wish to just discuss it by a mediator, or I don't know. You could even just have a friend or another couple that you could potentially hold accountable to it, and do it together. But throughout the process, try to have some fun and bring some light to what can be a really serious topic. Celebrate your wins. And yes, your celebration may involve spending some money, but hopefully you've budgeted for it and it won't matter. Thinking back to our thought of the day, don't hide this from your children. Let them see that you set aside time to work out your budget. Make this process normal and lighthearted where you can, and not ominous and scary. And something recently I saw on Instagram actually was a mum where she said, I'm not saying no because we're poor. I'm saying no because I don't want us to be poor. And actually what she was trying to explain was that she's not saying no because they don't have the money, but she doesn't see the value in that purchase. And if she were to buy it without there being the value behind it, it would just be a waste of the money. And therefore their money would have to come out of some other pot. And I thought that was really important. And that sometimes I think that's important for children to understand, that just because they want the latest squishmallow or they want a cup of bubble tea, that actually is it really a wise investment of your money or their money. So we know that focusing on personal spending can seem really confrontational. You may get worried that your partner or your accountant will judge your spending. No judgment here. That's really not the focus of setting a personal budget. Your personal budget is just that. It's personal. It's yours alone. Your budget simply reflects your decisions around how you spend your earnings and how much should be left over for debt reduction, savings, and investments. So instead of dwelling on the roadblocks of time, fear, and pride, remember to focus on the benefits. Better control, better focus, and better awareness. You'll also have improved money habits, and you'll be on your way to achieving your wealth creation goals in no time. So focus also on the benefits you seek to gain. Then take that first step of setting your annual personal budget. You can use our tool or choose an app that works for you, or go onto our website. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Focus on the expenses you can and want to control. Reach out if you need any help. So based on reaching out to us for any help, these are the ways we can help. We can review your personal budget if you wish. We charge £150 plus VAT for that. It's an hour-long meeting, including a little bit of to and fro before and after. We can also offer an initial coaching session. As I said, we do not offer a full personal budget or personal finance coaching program at the moment. We've had a couple of people ask it in the last year, so who knows? Watch the space, it might come. That's £500 plus VAT. However, you can also get our personal budget template for free, as I've mentioned. If you're on this webinar, you can, we will send it to you, at the end of this webinar. If you're watching this recording on YouTube, please leave a comment in the YouTube video, or you can also message us via Instagram. We are at Seed Accounting. Reach out however you like, and I will ping you over a free personal budget template with 0 requirements, commitments, you know what I mean. And finally, if you are interested in seeing how we can work together, please book in a complimentary business meeting for free. That is a 45-minute discovery call where we discuss your goals, your challenges and opportunities in the business, and see if you would like to work with us. So I'm not going to ask any questions because I wanted to keep this to a sub 30-minute webinar. But if you do have any questions and you're watching this live, please email me straight after and I'll get back to you. If, however, you're watching the recording, feel free to ask any questions in the comments below and we will get back to you. And a final parting thought. Budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And that is by Dave Ramsey, who is a huge budgeting expert based in America. He's a bit Marmite. Quite interesting though, and has some great concepts. So recommend looking into that if you wish to pay off some debt or improve your savings goals. He's quite hardcore, so take that into consideration and remember that your personal budget is a plan and it is liberating, not confining. And finally, thank you very much for taking the time to attend this webinar. We really appreciate you carving out some time in your busy schedules to watch this. And please, if you're watching this live on our webinar, please do complete the exit survey. If, however, you're watching a recording, feel free to send us any feedback. And hopefully I have given you plenty of ideas to ponder and some clear next steps to help you and your partners and your families and your business. And I look forward to seeing you soon.